Making a perfume requires extensive knowledge in organic chemistry, as well as a creative approach to combining disparate extracts into a single perfume with layers of fragrances. The foundations of modern synthetic perfumes originated during the 19th century with advances in organic chemistry. Most perfumes are composed of a three-part structure. The head, also referred to as the top note, is the first olfactory impression the perfume imparts. The second is the heart, also referred to as the middle note, which is the main fragrance that lasts for several hours. The last is the base note, the fragrance which underpins the whole perfume and is comprised of the least volatile chemicals. These make the fragrance last all day.
Perfumes are a blend of different levels of scents, also called notes. When you spray a fragrance on your skin, it moves through these notes in the following order.
Top notes are what you smell first. They are also what disappears first, usually within 10 to 15 minutes. Middle notes appear as the top notes die off. These are the fragrance's core, determining which family the perfume belongs to. For example, oriental, woody, fresh, or floral. Base notes accentuate and fix the fragrance's middle notes, also known as its theme. They comprise the fragrance's foundation, making the scent last up to 4 or 5 hours on your skin.
When mixing fragrance, first add your base notes, then your middle notes, then finally your top notes. The ideal ratio for blending notes is 30% top notes, 50% middle notes, then 20% base notes.
The materials used in the first part of the procedure were glass jar for mixing fragrance in, essential or fragrance oil for base, middle, and top note,
vodka with 80 to 100 proof, dropper, 1/4 measuring cup, aluminum foil to cover clear glass jar, notebook and pen for jotting down the recipe.
The materials used in the second part of the procedure were
The fragrance that you created, glass perfume bottle to put the finished product in, distilled water, glycerin, measuring spoon, funnel, and spoon to use for stirring the ingredients.
first part of the procedure.
The first thing to do is to prepare the materials needed in making perfume. Next is to prepare the containers that will be used. In preparing glass jars and bottles, it is important to sterilize it for it to be clean and sterile. This step is crucial especially when reusing jars and bottles. The process of making perfume begins from getting your glass jar and adding something to help merge the ingredients together that you will be placing. Alcohol is a popular choice because it evaporates quickly and helps diffuse the perfume's note. A common choice among DIY perfumers is a high-quality 80 to 100 proof or 40% to 50% alcohol per volume vodka. Measure 1/4 cup of vodka and pour it into the jar. After placing the vodka, add your scents. Slowly add drops of your base, middle, and top notes. Dinah used 7 drops of bamboo and lotus essential oil for her base notes. Meanwhile, Caroline used 7 drops of sandalwood essential oil for her base note. It is important to take one scent at a time. Add few drops, swirl, then smell it. Repeat it until you had added the approximate number of drops. Dinah used 8 drops of rose fragrance oil and 7 drops of lavender fragrance oil for her middle notes. On the other hand, Caroline used 15 drops of ocean essential oil for her middle note. Add few drops, swirl, then smell it. Feel free to add more or less to create the desired fragrance. Take the scent and repeat the step. Dinah used 8 drops of ocean essential oil for her top note. On the contrary, Caroline used 8 drops of vanilla essential oil for her top notes. They both had a total of 30 drops of essential oil and fragrance oils. Be sure to write down the numbers of drops used so that you know how much to put if you want to redo your fragrance or if ever you want to improve it. Once you are happy with the fragrance you've created, it is time to cover the glass jar with aluminum foil. After which, place it in a cold dark location for a minimum of 48 hours to let it age. Aging your fragrance allows the scents to mingle and also become stronger. They did the first part of the procedure last June 16, 2021.
Second part of the procedure.
After 2 days, the fragrance can already be taken out and it is already okay to remove the aluminum foil from the jar. Now that the fragrance is ready, it needs to be diluted. Add 2.5 tablespoons of distilled water. Stir it using a spoon. After which, add approximately 2 tablespoons of glycerin because this will help preserve the fragrance. The next thing to do is to close the lid and to shake the jar thoroughly for 1 minute. To finish it up, pour the perfume into your bottle. Be sure to use a funnel. You can also add a label. Be sure to decorate it and to give it a fancy name to make it more personalized. Dinah's perfume is called Electric Waves and Caroline's perfume is called Ocean View.
scent compound in a perfume depends on its rate of evaporation. Modern perfumes contain many synthetic compounds that are altered to give them unique characteristics such as increased odor. A variety of methods are employed in perfume manufacturing. Distillation involves heating materials containing fragrant chemicals and condensing them into a vapor that is then collected. Another technique is maceration, where raw ingredients are soaked in water, oil, or a solvent to draw out the fragrances. Expression involves compressing materials and squeezing out the aromatic oils. Enfleurage is a two-step process of drawing out a fragrance into a fat or oil base and then extracting it with an alcohol.